In this example, we're going to find an inverse of a rational function and then find the domain and range for both the original function and its inverse. We'll start with this function f of x equals 3x divided by 7x minus 4. In order to find the inverse, we'll go ahead and switch to the standard format. Y equals 3x divided by 7x minus 4. Replace the y with the x and the x with a y, so flip-flop x and y. X equals 3y divided by 7y minus 4. Now, we have to solve this equation for y. The first step is to get rid of the denominator. In order to do that, we have to multiply both sides by the denominator. So x 7y minus 4. And if we multiply the right-hand side by the denominator is going to cancel. So this is just 3y. Go ahead and open up the parenthesis distributive property. 7xy minus 4. X equals 3y. Now we're solving for y, but our y's are on two different sides. We'll go ahead and put both things with the y on one side and everything else on the other side. 7xy minus 3y equals 4x. Now, on the left-hand side, we'll factor out the y. 7x minus 3 equals 4x. Now we can just divide y equals 4x divided by 7x minus 3. Now this is our inverse, just not in the proper notation. I'll go ahead and put it right here. F inverse of x equals 4x divided by 7x minus 3. Now, I'll rewrite the original function so that we can go ahead and figure out domain and range for both. 3x divided by 7x minus 4. We'll start with the domain of the original function. Now, in the domain of the rational, the denominator cannot be 0, so 7x minus 4 cannot be 0, which means 7x cannot be 4, and x cannot equal 4 over 7. So the domain of the original function starts at negative infinity, goes to 4 over 7, then restarts at 4 over 7, and goes to positive infinity. Now, let's pause on the range just for a minute. We actually cannot determine the range algebraically just by looking at the original function. We have to use the inverse for that. So let's go ahead and switch to the inverse function. The domain of the inverse, it is also a rational function, so the denominator cannot be 0. So 7x cannot be 3, and x cannot be 3 over 7. So the domain of the inverse is negative infinity to 3 over 7, and then from 3 over 7 to positive infinity. The range for the inverse, so there's a special relationship that the original function and the inverse have in terms of domains and ranges. The domain of the original function is the range of the inverse, and the domain of the inverse is the range of the original function. They flip-flop. So we'll go ahead and fill that in. We don't need to do any more calculations. So the domain of the inverse will go into a place of the range of the original function. 3 over 7. And the domain of the original function will go into the range category of the inverse. Negative infinity to 4 over 7. And then 4 over 7 to infinity.